Now all it is a matter of repeating the process with your other scans. So we can activate this scan and delete it. We no longer need it. Just put no, you don't want to save changes because that will get rid of that selection at the same time. And so when you reopen it, it won't be selected automatically. And then just this time we're going to go to open, and I'll have to navigate because I've been mucking around. So it's on my desktop. USB stick. Swansea Retreat scans. Open that. Here we go. So that was the first one. We'll go to the second one. Open that. It's active because it's bright blue, or if it's not, click on that top bar to activate it. Get your magic wand. It should still show the magic wand here if you selected that before, so it's just a matter of clicking on it this time, coming across, making sure you're over the black line, clicking to select it. Now here I've selected, because I didn't zoom in, I've selected the wrong section. So again, I think you might be able to right click and undo mask wand. That's the quicker way to do it. And zoom in so you're over the black line and select again. And this time I've selected what I wanted to select. Now I did miss one point, and that is if your lines aren't dark enough and you tolerance can't get all the black lines in one go, no matter what you set it on, you can use these little add and subtract modes. So let's just deselect that mask again. So say you clicked on the wrong area and it selected that. You can also click on the minus, which puts it in subtractive mode, and you'll see a little minus next to your magic wand, and click and it will disappear. So you can remove any selections you don't like that way as well, or you can add selections. So you need to have something selected first, or just stay in additive mode and zoom in, or let's zoom out and just see if I can just select one part. Well, imagine I wanted to keep that part and I wanted to add some more, so I can just keep clicking on more bits and they will add to the selection. So that's one way if you can't get the tolerance to work. I'll just undo mask wand and undo mask wand and undo mask wand to get back. So I just, because I've got my tolerance quite well selected, it does select everything, so I'm doing that. So I've got that selected, then I can just come up again and copy, activate the other workspace and click paste, and my next scan is here. Now let's zoom into that area. Let's make this big and zoom in. So I can now, when I hover over the selection, I can move it around, and can you see that it's actually transparent, so I can see straight through to the other image. Now let's just get it across a bit further with the scroll bar, and move this so that I can line it up. Now I've got those arrowheads, so that's really helpful, but also my grid is there too to get that exactly square. Now if you scanned in and your scan was not square, so these grid lines didn't sit on top of each other, they sat skew, you can rotate the scan. Okay, so you can see that this one I had to scan in upside down to get it into the scanner because my pattern sheet was so large I couldn't fold it to keep it in the same orientation as the rest of the pattern. So this needs to be rotated 180 degrees to start with. So up the top here you've got a little rotation tool. So if you select that, you'll see you'll get rotation handles and a pivot point. Now when you're rotating the whole pattern, just leave the pivot point in the center. But you can quickly, rather than manually rotate, you could left click and drag, but you can also quickly type in a value up here in the angle. So I'm just going to type 180 in there and enter, and that's flipped my scan around the right way. You can see now though that I've got the red circle with the line through it saying I can't move this anymore because I'm still in the rotation tool, so I need to go back to the move tool, but I've still got that red circle. So I'm also going to click on the object pick tool, and now I've got it back. I've got my move tool back as well, so I can left click and drag this into position. Because I've got object pick rather than just move, I actually lose the image when I'm moving it. So I'm just going to try and get that back. Now, yes, so by clicking on the mode tool here, you will be able to see the scan as you move it. Now, come on, grab it. Okay, you can see here that this one is not square. When I move it around, it's a little bit off. So what I'm going to do is line up one point, and in this case I'm going to line up this point here where my straight grid line that I drew crosses through the side of the pattern. So we'll grab this pattern and we'll line that up. Okay, so now when I go to my rotation tool, I'm going to move my pivot point to that point that I lined up and get it on there. Okay, so when I pivot now, it will pivot about that point. So I'm going to just pivot so these 2 points down here line up. So I'm grabbing the rotation handle, line them up, drop it in place, and there we go. Okay, so I'll just bring this back to the smaller resolution and zoom out. We only need one more piece. I'll add that in and then we'll save. So I'll just pause the video. Okay, we've got all our pieces together now. So I'm just going to click off so that nothing's selected, and then go Control A to select everything. That also selects the outside of the workspace. So it's quite a bit bigger than our finished pattern, as you can see. So if that's the case, you might not want that whole workspace. So we'll get rid of that mask, remove, and just use the flyout menu to get our rectangle mask and just select the actual pattern. So we haven't got such a big area to work with in our software. And then we're going to go File, Save As. We've already given the name to our document, so that we don't need to change that. And it's going to save as a photo paint image. That's fine, and save that wherever you'd like to. I'm just going to save it to the desktop for now and save. Now the reason I saved that was because we made a new document. If I close the Corel Photo Paint, even in the software, I won't get that image back into the art canvas. So once you've saved it, you can close the Corel Photo Paint. We've got our original image there that we first brought in, so we can delete that and we can now open our new image, which I put on the desktop. I just have to find it. Here it is, and import. Press enter. Now of course I can rotate that. I worked out I had to put in 270 to get it to sit up the right way, but you might have to play around. And there we have it. We can go through to embroidery canvas, and there it is as a backdrop for us to digitize with. So I hope you gained something from that. Catch you next time.